So I was thinking about when I used to run. I used to do half marathons and I did triathlons, and I was really into it before I had kids or before I got married. I was just like schedule one after another, and I loved it. And I remember how much I wanted to have that under my belt and be like, "Ooh, yeah, I did a half marathon, blah, blah, blah." But the reason why I started running and like signing up for these things in the first place was because I wanted to exercise and have exercise be part of my daily weekly routine. And I found that the like an exciting way for me to get that really done is for me to focus on this goal and this like little reward and a little medal and like a little notch on my belt, is to focus on that, and that what gets me going and has gives me that result of exercising daily when I focus on that result. So you would think, right, that that I wanted to run a half marathon, that's what I wanted to do, and that's true. But what I wanted as a result, like a more important result in my life, was to feel good, to be fit, to be healthy, right? To exercise daily, okay? But in the meanwhile I was training, that didn't feel like that. It felt like I was focused on that end goal, right? And so we often, when we're in the middle of getting to our goal, we forget really why we're doing this, right? So just like I was talking in the other video about how we don't want to compromise who we're being for the goal, this is just another way of us looking at it, is that this goal, like this reward that I get at the end of getting this promotion, this raise, this next job, or getting the car, the house, the money, is really a vehicle for me to get what I want. And what I want is to feel happy, fulfilled, approved, rewarded, right? I want to feel established, accomplished. Whatever those feelings are, or you want to feel like a person proud of yourself that you exercise every day, right? So when we focus on those like end results, those end goals, and we forget why we're doing them, we can get really down on ourselves if we don't get that end result yet, right? For example, if I set the goal of do a half marathon by a certain time, like I do in a certain time, then if I didn't do that, then I can use that as like a weapon against myself to feel bad that I didn't accomplish a certain thing. And I'm forgetting why I even started to do it in the first place was to feel good and healthy and exercise, and which I did accomplish all throughout those 3 months, right? So the same thing applies to when we're going for our next job, our next raise, our next promotion. The reason why we want that is because it's going to be so much better there, right? We're going to be more established, more approved. We're going to feel really proud of ourselves, right? And what is required of us to get there is for us to become that person, right? And so this might not require for you to run every day, right? But what does it require? Who do you have to be? Who do you have to become in order to get that promotion, to get that next job, right? So in the process of getting it, you have to become that person first, right? You have to show your leadership, your mentors, that you are a decisive person. You have to do that first before you get that next job, right? You have to demonstrate the qualities that are required of that next step before you get that next step, right? So what we really want is to be that person who already has that, right? So which we're getting in the process of, right? So when you're feeling down on yourself that you haven't gotten there yet, you might feel like, oh, I don't have the result yet, and feel really down on yourself. And you might overlook all the work that you have done in order to get there, right? For example, if you're a lot better at giving yourself approval and loving yourself anyway, even in this job, then you are already getting the hidden result that you actually want, right? You want that next job because you want to feel approval, which you are giving yourself already when you don't get it, right? So our self-approval and self-love is what we all ultimately want. When we do anything, we're like, we want to be proud of ourselves, we want to love ourselves, and so we do all these things to get our own self-approval. And so I had the most beautiful realization the other day this is why I'm sharing this with you, is because when I really looked at like what is it that I truly do want for myself when I get there, I already have all of that. Like there's nothing that will change when I get there except for the amount of people I help and the dollar amount. That will be the only thing that will change. And the other thing that will change is I will just be a lot better at loving myself and giving myself approval. But I'm already doing that now, which is what I ultimately want, right? So those hidden results are like the gold covered up by what the ego wants, right? So I want you to think about those, and those results are what you can measure yourself by, right? Even if I'm not getting this next job or whatever the next step is, who am I being the person who I want to be, enjoying my family, loving myself anyway, taking care of myself, not beating myself up, not criticizing myself? Am I doing all those things? And if you are doing them to a certain degree, so I want you to notice that you are, especially if you're working with me, you are gaining awareness and you are doing more and more of self-approval and self-love. So I want you to give yourself credit for doing that, even if you're not getting the candy, if you're not getting like that instant reward, external reward, okay? Very, very important. We so often forget that that's what we truly want, and that we already are doing that on some level, because we have to do that when we don't get external reward. And if we don't approve of ourselves when we're rejected, we we abandon ourselves, and it feels so terrible that I think we all do have our own back on some certain level. So you have to acknowledge that, okay? I hope this was clear, because I don't feel like it was, but I'm just gonna put it out there for you in your brain to think about, okay? So there's like that ego reward that you want the medal. But what you truly want in the long run is you want that healthy relationship with yourself, which you are developing. You are building that muscle. You already are very good at that. So I want you to see that, right? As long as that's happening, then this stuff is just nice to have, right? Nice to have. We still want it, but we want it not in like a needy way, like, we're gonna cry over it so much, but more like, yeah, it pinches, it hurts, but I have me. I got my own back, okay? All right, have a great day. Bye.